Detonator. Here comes the colour smoke. The next is a beep, which means they'll turn towards each other for the detonator. To the right, you've got Red 6, that is Flight Lieutenant Tom Bold leading the synchro pair. I mentioned before, he's a third-year pilot in the team. He is a former Tucano flying instructor, then he moved on to fly the Typhoon before coming to the Red Arrows. Following him is Red 8, and on the left smoking is Red 7, chased down against by Red 9. Down to 100 feet they come, they're closing now at 820 miles an hour. They're going to perform the Jippo Pass. Red 6 calls turn on the radio, they leave their smoke on. They're now turning away from us, putting 6G in full power. So I mentioned before about the G-force, so this is a time when under constant 6G load, they're really working hard. They're going to point back towards us and cross again in what we call the Cyclone. Coming off the wings, ships you've got the streams are there, that's right, they're really low, they're putting a lot of G to fly that manoeuvre. They've just crossed again out the front, and they're moving over to our front left now to rejoin, and they'll find Red 8 before they come in for the next manoeuvre. The back end of Jippo is Red 9, he's Flight Lieutenant Emmett Cox. Cox is in his third year in the team. He is actually from New Zealand. He moved to the UK in 2002, joining the Royal Air Force and becoming a Tornado GR4 pilot. He moved across to be an instructor on the Tucano before he joined the team. So he's just positioned off crowd rear as we get ready for Red 6, 7 and 8, and they'll be running in from the crowd front 90 again directly ahead of you very shortly. The team leader, while we've got some time, is Red 1. He's Squadron Leader David Montenegro. He's also a third-year team leader. He's third year leading the team. He's a second time in the team. He first joined in 2009. He left in 2011. He was the leader of the synchro pair before he then left to fly the Tucano as an instructor, coming back to lead the team for the 2015 season. Now directly ahead, here come Red 6, 7 and 8.
Smoke on, go.
7 and 8 now with the coloured smoke on. They're rolling around Red 6. They're about to split, so get your cameras ready. This is the Vortex. White smoke on up through the middle of the Vortex. Works from Red 8. He's Flight Lieutenant Mike Bowden. He's a third-year pilot in the team. He's a former Hawk flying instructor. He then flew the Harrier GR9, moving on to the Tornado GR4 before joining the team. Now we've got the synchro pair on show. On the left, Red 7, on the right, Red 6. They're coming back down to 100 feet. Each of the pilots now bringing the aircraft up to 400 miles an hour. They're going to perform the opposition barrel rolls. Pilots joining the team will come from the Royal Air Force with very experienced backgrounds flying our frontline aircraft. So all of our pilots are either Typhoon, Harrier, Jaguar or Tornado pilots. They've all spent at least 1,500 hours flying fast jets and completed a frontline operational tour. And once they have an above average assessment, they can apply to join the team. It's It's a purely voluntary process, so that we get around 30 applicants to join the team every year. From those 30, we whittle it down to around 7 to 9 of a shortlist based on their entire flying record from day one of flying training through to their present day frontline reports. So on paper we'll look at their strengths and weaknesses and choose 7 to 9 of the most suitable candidates. We then take them away for a 5 to 7 day selection process during our Mediterranean training camp. And we put them through a number of tasks, flying tests, interviews, peer reviews, and also media assessments to select the best candidates. We take 2 or 3 new pilots every year ready to come and join the team. And once they join, they normally spend 3 years performing in the Red Arrows before they're moving on to instructional or frontline flying, or even being promoted and moving on to a staff job. So that's what they'll do. They'll spend 3 years in the team, and then the leader will come back, having performed in the team previously, to then come and take command. In for the right now, here they come. Jippo have rejoined behind us, and they're getting ready to fly a brilliant manoeuvre we call the Hurricane. He and Red 8 with the blue and red smoke rolling around synchro as they roll upright and inverted at different stages during the Hurricane. Just as I thought, against this grey backdrop, our blue and red smoke really standing out well. Incidentally, the blue and red smoke is a dye that is added to diesel fuel. The white smoke is just pure diesel, and that's injected into the aircraft's engine exhaust, which burns at around 400 degrees, and that makes it vaporised. So we carry 5 minutes of white smoke, a minute of red and a minute of blue in each of the aircraft, an especially modified container underneath each of the jets. We have a special team of blues, our engineers, who actually form part of the dye team. So 6 of these guys travel all around the UK in a lorry with a rig, a dye rig as it's called, on the back of a lorry. They take it all around the UK in the summer to replenish our aircraft. We can only do 1 display with the amount of dye we can carry, and these guys are the guys and girls you'll see in silver suits getting very hot as they replenish our red, white and blue smoke. Now rolling out ahead, you've got Red 6 at the front with Red 9 at the back, and they're getting ready to fly the Jippo break.
The Jippo break.
Pascal's taxi 04, hold.
Now 8 and 9 coloured smoke rolling around synchro, they're about to roll. Cameras ready everyone, the Jippo break. Side is Red 7, who is synchro number 2 this year, is Flight Lieutenant Cy Taylor. Cy is in his 2nd year in the team, as already mentioned. He is a former Tornado pilot, but then he moved across to fly the Typhoon, eventually becoming an instructor, teaching new Typhoon pilots on number 29 Squadron, the operational conversion unit, for which you'll see the display later on. So now we've got Red 6 on the right, Red 7 on the left, back to 100 feet. They're going to fly the double rolls. Full goes as Red 6, full power 6G, coloured smoke and upside down now 300 feet, back down to 100 feet. Synchro finishing their double rolls, they pitch behind us, so it'll just be a couple of minutes before they come in for their next manoeuvre. So the pilots will normally join for a 3-year tour before going back to the wider Royal Air Force. It's the same with our engineers and other support staff. They come from very experienced backgrounds among the Royal Air Force. They'll spend 4 to 5 years with the Red Arrows, and then they'll move back into the wider Royal Air Force, taking the experience they've learned from being on the team as they go back to do day-to-day duties on other units. Right, getting ready for synchro pair now as they come in from left and right. This guy, Red 6, is coming in from the left, and Red 7 coming in from the right. Here they come with their white smoke on, back at 100 feet. They're closing at 800 miles an hour. Getting ready to cross now as they turn through 360 degrees in opposing turns, pulling 6G. This is the carousel. tense their leg muscles. They've swapped their smoke colour from red to blue and vice versa. As they come around the front, they'll go back to white smoke. Now please, let's hear it for the synchro pair. Now during our training process, which starts normally at the end of a domestic season, takes around 4.5 months to train from day one of starting for a season's training up to given our public display authority. During that training process we do practice what we call loser plans to take into account if an aircraft is unserviceable or if the pilot is unavailable to perform. So our loser plans are practiced regularly during our training season. Of course we were about to put one of those training plans into effect today with Red 5 not being here, but unfortunately we can't fly what we call a double loser. So with one of the other aircraft in Enid being unserviceable, we could not then take part in a 7-ship display, which is why unfortunately we had to just go to our 4-ship routine, and you've seen the Jippo second part. So that's Jippo rejoining now behind us. They're going to come back in from our right hand side for a break to land very shortly. I have had some questions about why we didn't delay and just wait for another spare aircraft to be ready, but of course we do have the rest of the flying programme to consider here at the Scampton Airshow, and if we'd have delayed by an extra 20 minutes, which is what it would have taken for us to go for a spare aircraft, then we would have had a serious knock-on to the other acts that would have been performing. So that's why we took the decision to go with a 4-aircraft display, and that is why Jippo have just done what they've done for you. Enid unfortunately took part. So the pilots will be in the Red Arrow's public relations tent in the Royal Air Force Village, so please do come and find us. I believe it's 4 o'clock until 5 o'clock. I'm just going to get a bit of paper out my pocket and double check those at the time.
Runway 22 right and clear for 987 at Pascal's 29.14. 987 Pascal, going 17.
Yeah, so the pilots will be in the Red Arrow's tent from 4 till 5. I've just been reminded that we do have a token system in operation, so you can go along to our public relations tent, get a token, and then join the queue to come and meet the pilots if that is what you would like to do this afternoon. So now in from the right hand side, you can just see Jippo have rejoined into battle formation. They'll be coming in to perform a battle break. So the smoke will come on. You'll hear Red 6 call 6 braking now. The smoke will go off. They'll pitch up from 360 miles an hour at 300 feet. Pulling 6G, they'll go to idle, turn around the corner, to slow down and come into land from the right hand side. Go to idle, putting the air brakes out, pulling 6G now as they go around the corner to the right, and then they'll roll out downwind at 700 feet. Slowing down now to below 200 miles an hour, which is the limiting speed for our undercarriage. You'll then see each of the pilots will select the wheels down, they'll put the flaps into the right configuration for landing. They'll shortly turn finals to land on runway 22, so in from your right. So 6 gear, says Red 6 now, as he's in a right-hand turn, putting around 3G around the corner. Tightening wind now, so he's just going to land on the right-hand side of the runway. The even number pilots use the right-hand side of the runway, the odd number pilots land on the left-hand side. You might see as Red 6 touches down, he just puts a blip of white smoke out. Normally it would be the leader that does this, but Red 6 will do it leading this back section. That smoke then indicates to the following pilots what the drift is doing, therefore how they might be affected by their weight turbulence and jet wash. So they then affect their landing back. In fact, you can see Red 7 is coming down at a steep stack. He's flying in slightly higher than Red 6. That's to cater for that jet wash and weight turbulence. The smoke that I hope we're at 6 foot out
Scampton Tower.
will indicate to them
25.350.
what is happening on that jet wash. There you go, you just see the smoke now as it moves in from our left to right, but obviously in the cockpit there right to left, so they know the guys downwind have to fly through that jet wash. Red 8 will then land on a shallow stack on the right also, followed by Red 9. So here comes Red 6, let's give them a big wave as they come along the ground line.
And it's starting to rain.
And Red 9 touches down, the pilots will come back. Typically it's about to start raining again, so I can only apologise, ladies and gentlemen, that you didn't get to see an entire Red Arrow display today, completely outside of our control. I'm very sorry to say that what you've seen from the Red Arrows is all you're going to get from us today in the air. If you can, come and see us on the ground, that would be great. I hope you've enjoyed so far. There's still a lot to see here at the RAF Scampton Airshow, so please do stay around. You've got the Typhoon to close this afternoon. He will be fantastic. There will be some great photographs with his afterburner against that very moody cloud. So please do stick around, battle the elements, and enjoy your relaxation. But now I wish you all the very best on behalf of everybody at the Royal Air Force Aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. Back to George and Ben.
Yeah, well, thank you. A huge round of applause, please, for Surely to Mike Lee. A very difficult and demanding